Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Tuesday Trivia. If it's your first time here, welcome. We're glad you're here. You returning listeners can skip over the next 10 seconds or so. I'm going to explain the rules. Basically, what we're going to do is go through 16 questions. Today, it is over NFL penalties. It's going to be a lot of fun. I had a lot. There's some interesting ones in here. And the first 5 questions are going to be easy. They're worth 1 point. The second 5 are medium. They're worth 5 points. The third 5, so we're up to 15 questions now. Those are worth 10 points each. Okay, so with the 10 and the 5 10s, the 5 5s, and the 5 1s, that puts us at 80 points. And then we're gonna have one final impossible question worth 20 points to bring your total to 100. If you get above, let's just say 65. Last episode we did not have. We had some pretty low scores. If you get above 65, let me know in the comments below. And I can send you a sticker. I want to know what your guys' scores are, though. I love chatting with you guys in the comments. So do not feel ashamed if you get like a 33. That's not the lowest score I have ever heard. Some people just tell me in person, because most of my audience is people I know, what they got. And I'm like, dang, you only got that? That's kind of rough. But I'm not going to lie to you guys. We have a fun one today with the NFL rules, these penalties, rules kind of thing going on. I just kind of want to say, I was scrolling through the rule book to do this. One of the cool ones I saw was if a punt or a kick hits your own goalpost, it's a safety. Who knew? Not me. That is for sure. Could have happened to the Dolphins last year. Let's get it started. The easy category. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the question up here, wait 5 to 7 seconds, and then I'm going to put the answer up. If you need to pause the video to answer it because it's on the tip of your tongue, that's totally fine by me. There are no such rules here that require you to do it without pausing. I do not care. Question number 1. What penalty is this ref displaying to the audience? If you said holding, you would be correct. Doesn't really matter if it's offensive or defensive. He's doing the same thing. And also, audience is kind of a weird word. I probably should have used crowd. That one's on me. That one's on me. All right, question number 2. What is the penalty given to a player who grasps and tugs or pulls on the opposing player's face mask? If you said face mask, you would be correct. That was a bit of a tongue twister there, not going to lie. If you got both those, you're at 2 points. If you got 1, you're at 1. 0, you're at 0. I think we're understanding the point concept now. Question number 3. What is the name of the penalty given to an offensive player who moves before the ball does? If you said false start, you would be correct. Shout out to Stephon Diggs just the other night. Had a really hilarious false start. Diggs. Question number 4. What happens when an offensive player possesses the ball in the opposing team's end zone? If you said touchdown, you would be correct. You're probably thinking, oh, that's too easy. It's too easy. What do you mean? Well, this is the easy category, okay? We have to start somewhere. Trust me. You're going to be thanking me for these points later on. Question number 5. In the easy category, what is the maximum amount of players allowed on the field per team? If you said 11, you would be correct. That totals up to 22 for the whole, depending on, I know where you guys are coming from, but if you got 11, perfect. If you said 22, I can see where you kind of missed what we were going for there, but either way, you got it. All right, we're going to move into the medium category. These are definitely increasing in difficulty, just a little bit. Medium, question number 1. How many yards is a delay of game penalty? If you said 5 yards, you would be correct. This is all NFL right now. I pulled all of these from the NFL rulebook, so I don't know if they interfere with college at all. I tried to stay away from those, but just in case there is some overlap, I don't know exactly what the college rules are nearly as well. Question number 2. What happens if both teams commit a penalty on a play? If you said replay the down, you'd be correct. There's nothing really happens at all, honestly. It depends on the situation, obviously, but over most scenarios, if a penalty happens on both teams, then they just replay the down from the same spot. There's no yardage. There's, in most situations. Medium, question number 3. What happens when a penalty is committed in a team's own end zone? If you said a safety, you would be correct. Shout out to the Chiefs. They went through this a couple weeks ago. Anything like a face mask, a holding, I think the holding, I know for a fact face mask, I'm pretty sure holding is as well, but those will result in a safety. You cannot do that in your own end zone. It is a much larger penalty. Question number 4 in the medium category. How much time is put on the play clock after a normal play? If you said 40 seconds, you would be correct. There are situations in which 25 seconds are put on the play clock, such as after a timeout, after the end of a quarter, but on a normal play, it is 40 seconds. Question number 5 in the medium category is, how many players are required to be on the line of scrimmage? If you said 7, you would be correct. You're allowed to have 4 players off the line. Generally, the quarterback is off the line, so you basically get 3 that, can kind of do that. You get like a wide receiver and a running back, maybe your tight end, like in a wing position kind of, and then you have two wide receivers on. Who knows? The formations can get funky, but regardless, you need to have 7 on the line to avoid that illegal formation penalty. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have got through the medium category. We are now moving to the hard category. If you are currently sitting at 30 points, hey, let's go. Shout out to you. That is impressive. We're going to get into the nitty-gritty now, okay? So my luck to you. My hat's off to you at this point, but I do have to keep you on the edge of your seat here. Question number 1 in the hard category is, what happens when the offense fumbles the ball from the field of play out of the opponent's end zone? If you said a touchback, you would be correct. This happened to the Vikings when they played the Eagles. I believe it was the Eagles. This is very common when players are reaching for the pylon and it slips out of their fingers, or someone comes in and hits their hand and it comes loose and then it shoots out through the back of the end zone or through the side of the end zone, just missing the pylon. It is then, in fact, a touchback, which is kind of crazy. Let me know in the comments below if you think that's a fair rule. Question number 2 in the hard category. The bench area spans from what yard line to what yard line? If you said the 25, you would be correct. The 25-yard line to the 25-yard line, you get 50 yards of space in there. All right, question number 3 in the hard category. What is the penalty for invalid fair catch signal? If you said 5 yards, let's go. Let's go. This one's an interesting one. I won't completely bore you, but boy, I read this rule and I said, really, there's an invalid fair catch signal? You were allowed to put your hand up by your face or both hands up by your face to shield the sun, but in no circumstance are you allowed to put both hands above your head when catching a punt. There's only one hand allowed above the head in a waving fashion to signal a fair catch. Anything else outside of that really is an invalid fair catch, and it's called dead at the time that the player catches it. There's no opportunity for a return, but they are penalized 5 yards from that spot. I'm impressed if you got that. Question number 4 in the hard category. We're getting through them, okay? We've only got this one and 2 more, so let's dial it in here, all right? Final 3 questions. What penalty is assessed to a player who, quote, conceals the ball under the uniform or uses any article of equipment to simulate a ball? If you said unsportsmanlike conduct, let's go. You're going on a roll here going to these last 2. I am very proud of you because I read this, I busted out laughing. Can you imagine a running back? He gets there, takes the handoff, and he's running down the field. What? Obviously, they're going to know where the football is, bro. So that made me laugh. But yeah, that's an unsportsmanlike penalty. Unsportsmanlike conduct, excuse me. Okay, question number 5 in the hard category. We're really getting down to it here. Going to need these last 2 to boost your score. Number 5. Numbers on the front and back of jerseys must be 4 inches wide, but how tall must they be? If you said 8 inches tall, That is impressive. I'm sure you were working out some logic in your head there. Well, if it's this wide, it's probably got to be, at least 4 inches. Is it 10? Is it maybe 7? No, it's 8. It is 8. And with that being said, we move to our impossible question. And ladies and gentlemen, I know. This is impossible because I have scoured the whole rule book. I have looked top to bottom. I know this rule book, better than some NFL refs. I'm sure you know exactly what I'm talking about when you see missed calls left and right. This is not going to happen on today's episode of Marv on Air because, boy, I dug deep for this one. The impossible question on today's episode of Tuesday Trivia, come back next week if you're interested, is what is considered a catch in the NFL? The answer is nobody knows. No one knows what is considered a catch in today's NFL. There are no rules. As long as you're semi-holding the ball and it doesn't touch the ground, you're definitely going to get the catch. Once it touches the ground at all, it is hairy, okay? Anytime you don't completely possess the ball and you maybe got 2 feet down, also hairy, okay? Honestly, there is no explanation for this. Somebody get back to me at NFL headquarters, say, hey, this is what a catch is. And I'm going to say, then tell your refs that because obviously none of them know. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching to this point in the video. If you did, I'm going to give you guys 20 points for that question just because you stuck around. The retention on my videos is basically like 5%. So if you stuck around to this point, you are a true fan of Marv on Air. I appreciate it a ton. We're working out the kinks on this whole channel, so be sure to check back on here, on Twitter, on Instagram. We'll be posting updates. I think we're just going to be doing a daily podcast that's unrelated to the YouTube videos, and then we'll also have the podcast available on YouTube, so it's going to be really exciting. A lot more content for you guys. Be sure to tune in. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you like, subscribe, all that stuff. We'll be doing the same thing every single Tuesday throughout the year, and probably through the rest of the year because you guys seem to like these. So with that being said, I hope you have a good one. Enjoy today's Tuesday, enjoy Wednesday, and then Thursday, football will be back. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Deuces.